Hello and welcome to a P video, and today we're looking at X-Men Forever issue 4, Fall of the House of X. This is the final issue, and we have Egg, Fabio, Mendina on the front, the last of the 5. So our story begins with Destiny feeling a bit sorry for herself and Sinister coming to sort of help, I guess is the word. And he talks about a time back when the Phoenix destroyed all of him. And if the Phoenix plan works, no one will see it coming, including IMMORTAL, which is what they want to achieve. He also says, and she also, Destiny expresses that every future she reviews, she is looking for Mystique's future. And as such, she sees him die. Sinister says, you see all these likely outcomes of Mystique dying because you're pardon the pun, blinded by love. So your love influences your predictions of the future. So rather than seeing perhaps a 50-50, you are seeing an 80-20 split in terms of you're seeing the more probabilities that she's going to die, because that's what I guess you fear for. And he's doing this all because he wants to make one less enemy, because Krakoan Age is coming. It's on the horizon, and that means that they're back to being hated chumps. The X-Men are the heroes, and folks like Sinister and Destiny are once again, I guess, the bad guys. And he says he remembers an old broad once saying, there is no destiny. So Destiny goes to try and rekindle things with Mystique around trust, which is sort of lost. It's very difficult because, you know, they're in this bad place. And she says, what we have is immortal, which is great. And then she says, let's go save our family. So Kieron Gillen is on the writing. I said that completely wrong. Luca Maresca is on the art. Federico Blee is on the colors. VC Clankows on the letters. Tom Muller, Jay Bowen, and Kat Gregor Winch is on design. And I apologize if I've said any names wrong. So the Phoenix is wounded, angry, and scared. And Hope is trying to get it to target her by blasting it. So the Phoenix starts hunting her, so to speak, and oh, how Dad Cable would be proud, etc. And then Legion starts saying, well, what about the elf fella that you never knew? And she says, you know what? It doesn't matter about them whatsoever. You know, whoever they were, etc. And that brings us straight into this, where Enigma is talking to her mother, Louise Borden, who's a firefighter, and she's saying that you're gonna die when your daughter is born in 9 months' time. You're gonna die. You're gonna be dead, and this is how it happens, and projects that into Louise for it scene. And all he asks is such a sinister thing to do, even though this is Enigma and not the Sinister that we know, is he wants to be the father. Now, by doing this, that allows him to imprint on Hope and where Hope is, and prevent perhaps the Phoenix from being freed. At least that's how I've read this. So it's all sort of starting to happen. You can see Hope sort of changing there, Jean realizing it, and then Jean going off, etc. And the Enigma sign being there, because Louise is slowly being swayed to accept this reality, to be saved and not die. Because if you think about it, at the moment, you know, she knows nothing about Hope. She's just herself. You know, you can't think about what you feel about a child that's not even there. It's a perfect moment. So Destiny and Mystique get to save Xavier. Xavier, although he doesn't remember doing any of this stuff, says it would be a simple thing, and boom, she abandons her son, although they're about to be killed by Nimrod. But Exodus comes flying in to sort of rescue them, So leaving Nimrod confused whether he tried to murder him or whether it was attempted rescue. He's not entirely sure, or they're not entirely sure. And Xavier says, you know what, I'm glad they escaped. Now, what's next for me? And I guess we'll find out how Xavier's story ends in the rise of the powers of X and the fall of the House of X as well. So Jean comes in to say that your daughter was sent by the Phoenix to make the Phoenix. Very complicated stuff. Sometimes time travel stuff gets a bit gobbledygook. And she says that she saves all of mutant kind, etc. And Enigma has a pop saying that everybody's a monster and they treat us like lessers, etc. And all Krakoa teach us, which is what they've taught these mutants right now, is that you should only look after yourself. And that gives Louise the moment that she needs. And then she asks, what is hope like? And she says, she's fierce. She swears a lot. She looks a lot like you when she's called Hope. And, you know, that is enough for Louise to be sort of persuaded. And Enigma tries to have another pop, etc. And she says, I'm a firefighter. I run into buildings. I always expected to die by flames, etc. And then she says, can we get this over with? So this is how mutant kind is saved from the future. Jean going back and putting the Phoenix in there. She does lots of talking, but, you know, she's been sort of dead and stuff, so it doesn't really go well. And then, you know, we can see the Phoenix imprinted, and then, yeah, she doesn't remember any of this. And just stops drinking and heads home. And she's preggers with Hope. And now Hope in the future, she blasts it and is consumed by the Phoenix. And the Phoenix is born out of Hope. And yeah, it's just this is where the Phoenix is born. It's really I'm trying to get my head around it still. As you can tell, I'm sort of, yeah, okay, what do I say? So the Phoenix is reborn now and forever, which I think is why perhaps they changed the title to Forever, because Phoenix now and forever. And Jean is Mother Me, and they're going to go fight the creature of stagnation, which is the Enigma. So we know that Jean Grey has her own series, her own comic coming up called The Phoenix. I'm not sure whether that particular arc is meant to span out of it. I thought she was meant to go off into space in lots of adventures. And our story sort of starts ending with a proper family reunion. And Hope is gone, but Exodus still believes in Krakoa. It believes that, you know, she may be exiled in the White Hot Room, but, you know, it all lasts forever. Krakoa will return. The New Age will return. And, you know, this is it. So I'm a little bit gutted that Hope is perhaps gone in this manner, because I quite like the character Hope. And I felt like they did her dirty after Avengers versus X-Men. They did that character a little bit dirty. You know, there was big things to come, and they sort of pushed that character into nothing for a very long time. So I like how Kieron has managed to bring her to some sort of relevancy, and it makes sense how you know, mutants were able to come back. It all makes sense, all of it, really. So in the White Hot Room, Krakoa, the Exile, they're all fighting, and the wee little fella, who I can never remember his name, actually tells them to shut the hell up. Right, we are it. There are no heroes. We are in charge of our own destiny. And then he says, you know what? We have to move forward. And he starts asking questions. Who can do what? Who can do this? Who can be a teacher? Let's rebuild what we've got here, because we only have ourselves to depend on. And I'm not sure if that's going to feed into something in the future, but I feel like there's a possibility, and there is lots of room to maneuver with that. So there we go. There is X-Men Forever issue 4 finishing the Immortal arc. I'm still irritated by why they didn't just carry on calling it Immortal and take it all the way up to issue 22. They should have, in my mind. But you know what? It is what it is. Hope journey ends. Phoenix is reborn, and I suspect we'll perhaps see a little bit of that in those final event issues, I hope. And yeah, there we go. Era's End. Almost. I've got a few more issues to read before it fully ends with the event and X-Men 35. So if you like my channel, please do support me by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for everybody who supports my channel already and is subscribed to my channel. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important this day and age. And embrace geekiness. Goodbye.